Greetings, fellow traders. Bubblehead here, and it's time for the daily market wrap for Friday, December 6, 2019. And this is brought to you by Positive Trends Research. Before we get started, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice, so please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Okay, and let's take a look and see where we are. Let's start with the weekly chart because the week is over now. We finished with a big green Northern Doji. For the week, right? So again, basically on the weekly, tried to flush down with that gap down on the daily, right, and came back up into range. So let's take a look. We couldn't quite take out the all-time highs today, but let's take a look at the price action. Well, let's take a look at the dailies first. So you can see here, we have we still have our trend box going on right now, right? So we broke down to this upward trend line, right? We gapped down, that formed that minor pivot, breakdown pivot right here, and we're working our way back up. Right, so here's your trend box right here. So let's see if we can get out of that. If we do get out of this trend box, right, that's going to shift this trend line up as if this never happened, right? And then we'll just continue to say it's bullish until proven otherwise, right? But if it can't get out of this box and it comes back down, it may test this one more time, it may come back up, may come back down. I mean, there's a lot that could happen here, right? But still pretty bullish week this week. A couple gaps up, and now it's got multiple gaps below again, right? We got a gap right here, a gap right here, a gap right here, a gap right here. So those act as magnets. So we'll see, see if that pulls it. But again, another push to all-time highs, sends this trend line back up again, and we start the process all over. If we look at our geometric chart, again, where do we bounce off? We bounce right off of the macro channel from 2018 all the way through 2019, right? So that makes sense, right? Came down, bounced off the channel, and here we are kind of working our way back up here. In terms of the price action today, 15 orb up, has been pretty consistent this week, right? So we have that. We also had Apple today. Worked its way up to 15 orb up. This was kind of the most stellar one of the day, right? Double inside 15 down for a little bit, right? And then came back up here. On the short radar today was Roku, because of Elliott Wave and just because of how it was behaving on the daily chart, right? It took a while in here, for it to crack, and it finally broke down below. If you go to the hourly chart, right, you can see here on the hourly, right, it had an inside 62 as it's kind of rejecting this cloud, and that broke down as well, right? So it finished with a double inside 60 here, so a little 60 anchor at the close there. So those were some of the big ones today. Some of the ones that were on our radar today in the group, we had Ulta as a 15 orb opportunity, right? We really eventually it broke up here, gave a little bit of a triangle, right, at the pre-market highs, right, at the 15 orb high, and then it broke out there, right? So it also gave a nice reversal opportunity as it failed to break down into the pre-market box, right? So we had that today. That was pretty impressive. Zoom finally got a little bit of a move later in the day for a little 15 orb breakdown. We talked about that earlier. Docu had a nice reversal today off of the 15 orb low, inside 15 up, and it got back into the pre-market box, and that was those were kind of the major ones today. Some of the ones that other folks were talking about were Goldman Sachs. That had a 15 orb inside 15. That ended up breaking out the 15 orb high and then working its way higher. So that was pretty big today. Netflix had a pretty big reversal today as well. Not NLX, NFLX. Netflix had a pretty big reversal today. First, it broke down out of the 15 orb inside 15, couldn't hold the 15 orb low, worked its way up inside 15 up, right? Double inside chop for the rest of the day there. So that was pretty impressive. And then also on the weak side too, even though with a gap up, Amazon had some weakness today, right? So it had a big hammer at the open, couldn't break out of the 15 orb high, and came back all the way down here until it did a key reversal, right? We just talked about this last night, right? We had a low, we had a lower low, a close below that low, and then a higher low, and then a close below that close, right? This formation right here is a excellent reversal signal, right? And we also filled the gap below here too. So we tested yesterday's close. We filled the open gap and the closing gap on that one. So important, very, very impressive stuff. Well, actually, there wasn't an open gap above, but we closed the closing gap today, and then worked our way up there. So very, very impressive there. So those are kind of the main ones that were on the radar. Boeing was very strong into the close today, up 8 points for Boeing. It's pretty impressive. It hasn't had a major move in a while, right? So a nice 15 orb up on that one. So we're looking to see if that gets any momentum into Monday. So other than that, I hope everybody has a wonderful and blessed weekend. And thank you everybody for your support, for watching these videos, for clicking like, for retweeting, and for being very supportive. So I really appreciate that. So everybody have a wonderful evening, and remember, your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And I'll talk to you soon.